Good morning, welcome back to my channel where today I will be attempting to predict week 7 of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. Now let's have a quick look at how I did last week, and it has to be said it wasn't a great week. So for Southampton Bournemouth, I went for a 2-1 win to Southampton. It was a 3-1 win to Bournemouth. So yeah, you can see how this is going. I went for a 3-1 win to Tottenham, and it was a 2-1 win to Leicester City. Burnley Norwich went for a 1-1 draw. It was 2-0 to Burnley. I went for Everton to beat Sheffield United by 2-0. Other way round, it was a 2-0 win to Sheffield United. Man City Watford, I went for a 4-1 win to Man City. It finished 8-0. We'll come to that. That was very, very impressive indeed. Newcastle United Brighton, I went for a 2-1 win to Brighton. It was a 0-0 draw, but how it was a 0-0 draw, I have no idea. I really do not have any idea, because Newcastle were just dire in that game. Crystal Palace Wolves went for a 1-0 win to Wolves. It was a 1-1 draw. West Ham Manchester United, I went for a 2-0 win to West Ham. A 2-1 win to West Ham. It was 2-0 to West Ham. Arsenal Aston Villa, I went for a 3-1 win to Arsenal, and it finished 3-2. So pretty close there. And Chelsea Liverpool, I went for a 2-1 win to Liverpool, and it was 2-1 to Liverpool. Now obviously some of these teams have obviously been in Carabao Cup action as well, so some will be fresh and some will not, so this will be very interesting. So first game of week 7 is Sheffield United against Liverpool. Now the last times these two have met was way back in the 2006-2007 season, where Liverpool beat Sheffield United 4-0 at Anfield. I know that was my first ever Liverpool game, was that one. And the last time we played at Bramall Lane was a 1-1 draw. And that was also in 2006-2007. That was when Rob Hull scored for Sheffield United and Robbie Fowler equalised from the penalty spot. Sheffield United obviously losing to Sunderland last night, so that was a bit of an upset. But I do believe they made so many changes to their starting lineup. Also, a fantastic win away against Everton. I don't think anyone had them to beat Everton, if I'm being honest. They were excellent against Everton. Bit of a smash and grab, I would have to say, because Everton had so many chances to score. Sheffield United only had one shot on target, and that was a goal. And then obviously the other one was a Yerry Mina own goal. So, you know, Sheffield United, it's a fantastic win. It really, really is. Yeah, Everton wasted their chances. They took theirs, and you know, Sheffield United win the game 2-0. So it was a very, very good away win, and they're going really well actually at the moment, 10th in the Premier League, and they don't seem to lose by many as well. I think they've only conceded. I think they've only lost like by a goal in their matches this season, so it's they're very, very tricky to beat, Sheffield United. And this is going to be a very, very big test for Liverpool. Another big away test. Liverpool obviously 2-0 winners against MK Dons last night. Really good to see the youngsters get blended in as well. Very, very good performance from them, and also a very good performance against Chelsea. Obviously, first half absolutely dominant in that game in the first half, but the second half Chelsea came back into it, caused a wee bit of a scare when N'Golo Kante scored, and it was a very, very good, result in the end. Obviously, Alexander-Arnold and Firmino got the goals that day as well. So, far as this game goes, I think because obviously Liverpool have obviously won midweek, they're on a fantastic run. They want to make it 7 out of 7 this week, and I think they might. They've never won at Bramall Lane, but they only have met 4 times in the Premier League era. So you know it's going to be quite interesting, this one. But for me, I'm going to go for the Liverpool win, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Liverpool. I know Sheffield United haven't lost by more than 1 goal this season, but I do think that Liverpool will need to be patient in this game, because I think Sheffield United will be a very, very tricky test. And I think if Liverpool get an early goal, then the floodgates could open. But I'm gonna stick with a 2-0 win to Liverpool, and this match is on BT Sport Saturday lunchtime, 12:30 kickoff. So this will be a very, very interesting one indeed. So I'm going for Sheffield United 0, Liverpool 2. Bournemouth against West Ham. Now, Bournemouth getting beat by Burton Albion 2-0 last night, but West Ham getting absolutely gubbed 4-0 by Oxford. But then again, I suppose West Ham and Bournemouth have made so many changes to their lineup. Both of these sides coming off the back of wins. Bournemouth 3-1 winners over Southampton, and looking very, very impressive indeed. West Ham obviously beating Manchester United 2-0 and looking very comfortable in that game, it has to be said. But yeah, Bournemouth, very good away win. That was their first win away at St Mary's. Very, very good performance. Very, very good performance. Obviously, Nathan Ake scores to make it 1-0, and then obviously it is 2-0 from Harry Wilson. He seems to be starting very well. It's nice to see Harry Wilson get game time at Bournemouth, and that is the main thing as well. Also, the third goal, obviously, if you haven't seen it, then Angus Gunn and Jan Bednarek getting an absolute tangle with each other, and it was just shockingly bad, really, really bad it was. And obviously Callum Wilson scores the third, so very good away performance from Bournemouth. Obviously, they won't be too bothered about the Carabao Cup. They mainly focus on the league anyway. So West Ham, very good win against Manchester United. Yarmolenko, it's nice to see him back, isn't it? It's nice to see him score again for West Ham, and fantastic free kick from Aaron Cresswell, it has to be said. But you could say that it could have been saved by De Gea, because he does get a hand to it, but he does pan it into the net. So it's one of those ones. The last meeting between the sides was a 2-0 win to Bournemouth. Bournemouth won both games last season, in fact. For the first time they've done the double over West Ham. So for this game, I just think because Bournemouth are at home, you don't know what you expect from West Ham away, especially after a very good result against Manchester United. They then tend to maybe draw or lose the next game. So I think Bournemouth will just sneak this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to the Cherries. But it'll be very, very interesting to see this game, because this could end in a draw quite easily. But I'm going for a 2-1 win to Bournemouth. Aston Villa against Burnley. Now, Aston Villa were 3-1 winners at Brighton last night. That was a very good result. Now they've been drawn against Wolves. Actually, I will come to the Carabao Cup draw right at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Burnley 2-0 winners over Norwich, looking very, very comfortable as well. Chris Wood's doing very, very well there as well. Aston Villa, obviously 3-2 defeat to Arsenal, but it's not about getting plaudits now, it's about getting results, and they definitely need to get results. To be 1-0 up and then 2-1 up at Arsenal doesn't happen very often, and it was a pity that they didn't see out that game, and especially against 10 men as well. So, but obviously they're coming back in front of the Villa Park fans. They'll want to get a better result. Burnley, obviously, like I've said, 2-0 win against Norwich, and looking pretty comfortable in that game, it has to be said. Norwich didn't really pose much of a threat either, and that is a bit of a concern for Norwich, but a very, very good win for Burnley. Now, the last meeting was a 1-0 win to Burnley way back in 2015-2016. I can't really separate these two. I think it is going to be a very, very hard game. Burnley are very hard to play against at any time, and I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those encounters where I think it is going to be very, very interesting indeed. But for me, I'm going to go for a score draw in this one. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. But don't be surprised if it finishes 2-1 to either team, because obviously both of these sides definitely need results. And it'll be another interesting one. But yeah, I'm going for a 1-1 draw between Aston Villa and Burnley. Chelsea against Brighton. Now, Chelsea 7-1 winners against Grimsby Town last night. Wow, that was very, very impressive indeed. Brighton obviously losing 3-1 to Aston Villa last night. How they didn't beat Newcastle though was anyone's guess. Newcastle just sat back, allowed Brighton to attack them, and it was a very poor game of football. But Brighton should have won, definitely. Chelsea obviously coming off the back of a 2-1 defeat against Liverpool. Big good signs in that second half though. They were excellent in the second half and could have grabbed a point. Obviously wasting chances from Mason Mount. I thought Tomori at the back was very, very good for Chelsea. Thought he was excellent against Salah, who didn't have a sniff all game. So Chelsea are slowly getting results now, and they're going to slowly start picking up, I think. Be interesting to see what will happen in this game. Brighton, obviously losing 3-1 to Aston Villa, making so many changes. So, but they're very tough to beat. Brighton, they really, really are. This will be a big test because obviously Chelsea have not kept a clean sheet all season yet, and I reckon that this is the game that they will keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Chelsea. Because I think Chelsea will be confident after that 7-1 win last night against Grimsby. That was amazing result for Chelsea. So I'm going for a 2-0 win to Chelsea. Crystal Palace against Norwich City. Now, both of these sides have not been in Carabao Cup action, so they will both be fresh. Obviously, Crystal Palace 1-1 draw with Wolves last time. Should have won that game. Really, really should have won that game, especially Wolves were down to 10 men as well. Norwich City obviously going to Burnley and losing 2-0 as well. So their away form is their Achilles heel, has to be said. It has to be said in that one. Obviously, Palace, their Achilles heel is again their home form. They really need to get better, their home form, definitely. Norwich City, like I've said, their Achilles heel seems to be their away form. So in this game, I have to back Crystal Palace. I'm going to go for another 2-0. I'm going for 2-0 to Crystal Palace in this one. I think Palace will win this one quite comfortably, actually. And yeah, Norwich need to start getting results away from home because that is what is going to keep you in this league. But they may rely on their home form. That's another thing. So we'll see for that one. But for me, Crystal Palace 2, Norwich 0. Tottenham against Southampton. Now, Tottenham getting knocked out by Colchester United on penalties. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Southampton winning 4-0 at Portsmouth though. So they've got the pride of Hampshire. They've got Derby bragging rights. And I know they're in different leagues, but it's always nice to see that derby being played, especially. Tottenham, what's happened to Tottenham? Goodness me. Another lead lost, especially against Leicester City, going up 1-0 and then losing 2-1. Wasn't great for them. We can talk about VAR. I mean, Son's arm is offside. It's absolutely ridiculous, VAR. I know we've had VAR this time, obviously. Mount was offside as well for Chelsea against Liverpool. But the Son one is just an absolute farce. It's literally his underarm that is offside. It's absolutely ridiculous. But Tottenham are in very, very poor form in this moment in time. And, 2-2 against Olympiacos. In the Champions League, they were 2-0 up in that game, drew 2-2. They were 1-0 up against Leicester, they lost 2-1. They were 2-0 up against Arsenal, 2-1 up against Arsenal, drew 2-2. So they're not keeping leads. This is the worrying thing, and it'll be very interesting. But all those games were away. So, but at home it's a different matter. They seem to be scoring at home. Southampton obviously coming off the back of a 3-1 defeat to Bournemouth, and obviously winning 4-0 last night was very, very good, but they're struggling to score goals in the Premier League, and I just think that because Tottenham have been knocked out by Colchester, I just think that Tottenham will be far, far too strong, for Southampton. I think this could be a hammering. In all honesty, I'm going for a Tottenham 4, Southampton 0. But I think that will be a very hard game for Southampton. I think Tottenham, obviously getting a backlash from Tottenham is probably going to happen. So I think it will happen. So I'm going for Tottenham 4, Southampton 0. Wolves against Watford. Now, Wolves were penalty winners against Reading. Obviously, Reading scored very, very late on last night against Wolves to take that to penalties. Whereas Watford, 2-1 winners over Swansea. But 8-0 defeat to Manchester City, which was not very, very good. I think that's a bit of an understatement. Wolves obviously drawing 1-1 with Crystal Palace. The wins will start coming from Wolves, it has to be said. The wins will definitely start coming. But it's going to take a bit of time. Obviously, Europa League does not help. It does not help matters. But they are starting to show signs that they will probably start winning games soon. But they should have probably lost that. They were much better at Palace. Don't get me wrong, they were much better at Palace. Obviously going down to 10 men with when Roman Saiss got sent off. They looked a lot better when they went down to 10 men and gave Palace a good game, and then obviously that late equaliser as well. So they'll hopefully be wanting to win this one. Watford, dear oh dear oh dear. 8-0 against Manchester City. Just concede 5 in the first 20 minutes is just something unthinkable. But they did that. And you know what? Watford were just so poor. They literally gave up. Obviously that first goal goes in the hedge draw. And for me, Watford are desperately in danger now. For me, definitely need to start picking up wins as soon as possible, because it's starting to go a little bit. Because after the great performance against Arsenal, where they could have won that game, they then go and get absolutely gubbed by Manchester City. That's a bit of a one. This is 19th against 20th in the Premier League, and in my opinion, there is going to be one winner, and I think it is going to be Wolves. But it will not be comfortable. I can see both sides being a little bit nervy in this game. Obviously, Watford going to City and losing 8-0. Wolves going to Crystal Palace 1-1. So I'm going to say that Wolves will win this one. But it won't be it won't be a high scoring affair. I'm going for a 1-0 win to Wolves. So there we go. Now we have the Saturday tea time game, which is Everton against Manchester City. Now Everton, dear oh dear oh dear. 2-0 defeat to Sheffield United, but obviously they did win against Sheffield Wednesday 2-0 as well. Manchester City 8-0 against Watford, and then 3-0 at Preston as well. Everton, dearie me, so inconsistent. I mean, losing to Bournemouth was bad enough. Defensively, all over the place at Bournemouth, and then Yerry Mina scores an OG, and then they had so many chances, so many chances. Richarlison was very guilty of missing a couple of chances as well. Was not a very good day at the office for Everton. So hopefully they'll be coming back in front of the Goodison Park faithful. Are they expected to win this one? Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Man City obviously 8-0 winners over Watford. The first team ever to score 5 goals in 20 minutes. That is very, very impressive indeed. Bernardo Silva getting a hat-trick as well. Quite typical when I put Bernardo Silva out of my fantasy team a couple of weeks ago and he scores a hat-trick. Yeah. So it shows how well I'm doing at fantasy this year. Last meeting was a 2-0 win to Man City. I think it's going to be something along those lines. I don't think Everton are that kind of team that concedes 8. So I think they'll be able to shore up their back line a little bit. I think Man City are going to have to be patient. I think Everton will give them a good game, but I think it's going to be a 2-0 win to Manchester City for that one. And that one is on Sky Sports live event. Main event, not live event. So yeah, that is on Sky Sports. That's a 5:30 kickoff. And we've only got one Sunday game, which is Leicester City against Newcastle. Now, Leicester City 2-1 winners over Tottenham. Very, very good performance indeed. And then 4-0 away to Luton, including James Justin scoring his first goal against his former club as well. Leicester are very, very good. Newcastle, obviously they've not been in Carabao Cup action, but how woeful they were against Brighton. Obviously, like I know Brighton. Matt Ryan had a few saves to make, but Newcastle just sat back, and I do worry for Newcastle because at this present moment in time they don't look like scoring at this moment in time. Leicester obviously a 2-1 win over Spurs. That is the result that you would expect from Leicester if they want to challenge top 6. Very good performance from them as well. So this is a Sunday game, and this is the only Sunday game in fact. I'm going to go for a Leicester win, but in fact Newcastle have actually won the last 2 visits to the King Power, which is very interesting, but I have to back Leicester. I think Leicester will probably win this game, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Leicester City. And the final game is my game of the weekend, is Manchester United against Arsenal. This is the Monday night game. It's live on Sky Sports at 8 o'clock. Manchester United obviously going through on penalties against Rochdale. I will come to that one. And then obviously losing 2-0 to West Ham. It's not been a very good period for Manchester United. Arsenal obviously 3-2 winners against Aston Villa in the league, but 5-0 winners against Nottingham Forest. So a very, very good performance in that one. The last season now, Arsenal won 2-0 at the Emirates, and it was a 2-2 draw at Old Trafford. So this is going to be a very interesting game indeed. Manchester United. Where do we start with Manchester United? What has happened to them? 2-0 away to West Ham, defeat. Didn't look like scoring. Marcus Rashford's injured. So are they going to rely on Mason Greenwood? Apparently Martial could be back for this game, which would be a better thing for them, especially because you can't really expect Mason Greenwood to start every week in, week out. He's only 17. This is the worrying thing about Manchester United. They should have strengthened in the summer. They didn't. They allowed Lukaku and Sanchez to go. They didn't strengthen. I think this is what's happening to Manchester United now, is that they're looking very, very short up front. And obviously Rashford injured now for a few weeks. Who's going to play up front? So it's going to be very, very interesting. And Pogba came back last night against Rochdale, but looked a shadow of himself. And this is the thing, though, that Manchester United going through on penalties is obviously they're through to the next round, but it's a poor result. It is a definitely really poor result. But I suppose they did get through. I will come to the Carabao Cup, like I've said at the end of this video. Arsenal 5-0 winners against Nottingham Forest, looking very, very good. Kieran Tierney making his debut, so he looks like he could start at Old Trafford. Hector Bellerin came back last night as well. He looks like he's back to his sharpness as well. So now, Arsenal have not won at Old Trafford since the 2006-2007 season. The way Manchester United are playing at the moment, the lack of goals at Old Trafford is a concern. I'm going to go for an Arsenal win. I just have a feeling Arsenal are going to end that hoodoo at Old Trafford, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Arsenal. I think Arsenal will beat Manchester United and pile the misery on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the Manchester United fans faithful. I can see that. I can see that happening. So that is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Manchester United 1, Arsenal 2, but it will not be a pretty game. A game of few goals, I think, but Arsenal's attacking prowess, I think, will be far too strong for Manchester United. So I'm going for a 2-1 win to Arsenal. So that is it. That is my game week 7 predictions. Just quickly go through them very, very quickly as usual. Sheffield United 0, Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 2, West Ham 1, Aston Villa 1, Burnley 1, Chelsea 2, Brighton 0, Crystal Palace 2, Norwich 0, Tottenham 4, Southampton 0, Wolves 1, Watford 0, Everton 0, Man City 2, Leicester 2, Newcastle 0, and Manchester United 1, Arsenal 2. Now, the Carabao Cup draw was made, and this is what the fourth round has come up as. So it's Everton against Watford, Manchester City against Southampton, Crawley Town against Colchester United, Oxford United against Sunderland, Aston Villa against Wolves. That is a very good game. Burton Albion against Leicester City, Chelsea against Manchester United, and Liverpool against Arsenal. So you would probably expect Chelsea, Manchester United to be on TV, and probably Liverpool against Arsenal as well. So thank you very much for watching my video. If you want your comments, if you have your predictions, then put them in the comment section below. That would be fantastic. And yeah, we shall see what happens in game week 7. And like I've said, you've got to wait till Monday until that Manchester United Arsenal game, which will be very, very interesting indeed. So yes, that is it. That is my game week 7 predictions. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notifications bell for every video that I post. That would be fantastic. And good luck to your teams. Hopefully a very good weekend. Enjoy the football, and we shall see what happens as well. And also check out Mr. Exclusive's channel, Duty to Entertain channel, where I'm going up against him, and at the moment it is 3-2 to me. So it'll be very, very interesting to see who wins this week indeed. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back very, very soon with another video, which will be my match week 7 predictions for the SPFL Premiership. So yes, thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the football, and I'll be back very, very soon with another video. Take care everyone, bye bye for now.